The gun pressed against my temple smells like oil and fear. Dante's arm is iron around my waist, shoving me behind him as bullets shatter the car windows. Glass rains down, sharp and cold against my neck. My heart's hammering so hard I can taste copper in my mouth. "Stay down," he growls, and I don't know if I'm more terrified of the men shooting at us or the way his voice makes my stomach flip. This wasn't supposed to happen. I wasn't supposed to be here. 3 weeks ago, I was nobody, just the shadow twin, the one they forgot existed. Then my brother ran, and suddenly I'm wearing his wedding ring, sleeping in a stranger's bed, pretending to be someone I'm not. But Dante knows. He's known since our wedding night. And somehow that's more dangerous than the bullets. CTA, if you want to know how I ended up married to the city's most feared man, hit subscribe. Trust me, it gets worse before it gets better. Chapter 1. I've always been good at being invisible. It's a skill you pick up when you're born 5 minutes after someone who shines brighter than the sun. Remy got the charm, the smile that made people lean in closer, the laugh that filled rooms. I got really good at blending into wallpaper. Our apartment smelled like my mother's jasmine perfume that morning. Too sweet, almost choking, the kind of scent that clings to your clothes long after you've left. She was fussing over Remy's wedding suit, charcoal gray, tailored within an inch of its life, probably cost more than my entire wardrobe combined. Dad stood by the window, phone pressed to his ear, talking numbers and alliances like he was brokering a business deal. Which I guess he was. The Kane family wasn't exactly legitimate. We had our fingers in enough pies, some legal, most not, to keep us comfortable. But we weren't untouchable. Not like the Volkovs. Dante Volkov ran half the city's underground with an iron fist, and apparently had enough political connections to make problems disappear. Literally. And today, my brother was supposed to marry him. Silas, make yourself useful. Get your brother some water. Mom didn't even look at me when she said it. Her eyes were fixed on Remy's collar, adjusting it for the 3rd time. I was halfway to the kitchen when Remy walked in. His hair was still damp from the shower, water dripping onto the marble floor. He had that look on his face. The one that meant trouble. The one that meant he was about to do something stupid and expected everyone else to clean up the mess. I'm not going. The room went so quiet I could hear the coffee maker gurgling in the kitchen, the distant sound of traffic outside, my own heartbeat thundering in my ears. Dad's phone clattered onto the marble counter. "What did you just say?" "I'm not marrying Dante Volkov." Remy shrugged like he was declining dinner plans, not torpedoing a Mafia alliance that had taken months to negotiate. "He's boring." "Oh, I met someone else. Someone who actually makes me feel alive." Mom's teacup hit the saucer with a crack that made me flinch. For a second, I thought the porcelain had split. "Do you understand what you're saying?" Dad's voice was ice. The kind of cold that burns. "Dante Volkov doesn't get stood up. You'll get us all killed." "Dramatic much?" Remy rolled his eyes. Actually rolled them. "Then send Silas." My stomach dropped. "He looks like me." "Close enough, anyway." Remy's eyes slid to me, and something in my chest went cold. "Buy me some time, and I'll fix this later. I just need a week, maybe 2, to sort things out with." "Absolutely not." I found my voice finally. "That's insane. He'll know immediately." "Will he?" Remy tilted his head, studying me like I was a painting he was considering buying. "We're identical twins, Silas. Same face, same height, same." "We're not the same," I said, but my voice came out weaker than I wanted. Mom turned to me then. For once, she really looked at me. But there was no warmth there, no concern. Just calculation. Like she was measuring my worth against Remy's happiness and finding me wanting, as always. "Silas, you'll do this. For the family." It wasn't a question. It was never a question with them. "You can't seriously expect—" I started, but Dad cut me off. "What would you have us do?" His fists trembled against the armrest of his chair. "Tell Dante Volkov that we're backing out? That we wasted his time? Do you have any idea what he'll do to us?" "That's not my problem," I said, but even I could hear how hollow it sounded. "It is your problem." Mom's voice was sharp. "You're part of this family, whether you like it or not. And right now, your family needs you. Needs me. They needed me. After 24 years of barely acknowledging I existed, suddenly I was useful." I looked at Remy. My twin. The person who was supposed to be my other half. He wouldn't meet my eyes. Just stood there with his hands in his pockets, waiting for me to cave. Waiting for me to do what I always did, make myself smaller so he could shine brighter. I'll make it up to you, he said quietly. I promise, Silas. Just give me some time. His promises had always been empty. Birthday plans he'd forget, secrets he'd spill, borrowed things he'd never return. But this time felt different. This time, he was asking me to step into a marriage. With a man known for violence. With a man who probably had people killed before breakfast. Fine, I heard myself say. The word tasted like ash in my mouth. I'll do it. Remy's face lit up. Really? Silas, you're a lifesaver, I swear but I'll never forgive you for this. My voice came out steady cold. Any of you. You understand that. I'll do this because I don't want us all dead. But after this, we're done. Mom waved a dismissive hand. You're being dramatic. Maybe I was. But as I stood there in a room that smelled like jasmine and lies, watching my parents nod their approval and my brother grin with relief, I realized something. They would never see me. Not really. To them, I was just a tool. Backup plan. The spare. Dad clapped his hands together. Good. That's settled then. Silas, you'll wear Remy's suit. Memorize his mannerisms. Keep your head down during the ceremony. With any luck, Volkov won't notice until Remy can smooth things over. And if he does notice, I asked. The silence that followed told me everything I needed to know. I was expendable. The wedding was in 3 hours. 3 hours to transform into someone else. 3 hours before I walked down an aisle toward a man I'd never met. A man who was expecting my brother. A man whose reputation made grown criminals nervous. As I stood in front of the mirror later, wearing Remy's suit that fit wrong in all the small ways, I barely recognized myself. Same face, different person. A ghost wearing familiar skin. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. This was going to be a disaster. I could feel it in my bones, taste it in air. But I didn't have a choice. Not really. So I took a breath, straightened Remy's helmet tie, and prepared to marry a stranger. Chapter 2. The wedding hall smells like money and white lilies. I hate lilies. They smell like funerals, like the kind of arrangements people send when they're obligated to care but don't actually feel anything. There must be hundreds of them lining the aisle, their white petals almost glowing under the crystal chandeliers. My hands won't stop shaking as I adjust the collar of Remy's suit for the millionth time. It fits wrong. Too tight in the shoulders, too loose at the waist. I'm taller, broader through the chest. But no one's looking that closely. They're all here for the spectacle, for the alliance between the Kane family and the Volkov Empire. I'm just a prop in someone else's play. I catch my reflection in one of the gilded mirrors lining the entrance hall. For a second, I don't recognize myself. Same dark hair, though mine's a bit longer than Remy usually keeps his. Same sharp jawline, same straight nose. We're identical, technically. But my eyes look different. Remy's always sparkled with mischief, with confidence. Mine just look tired, scared, ready. The wedding coordinator touches my elbow, making me jump. She's an older woman, hair pulled back so tight it must hurt, wearing a headset like she's coordinating a military operation. Her perfume is floral and aggressive, mixing badly with the lilies. It makes my headache worse. I nod because my voice won't work. My throat feels like I've swallowed sand. She gives me what's probably meant to be an encouraging smile, but it doesn't reach her eyes. Remember slow steps. Count to 3 between each one. And smile. This is supposed to be the happiest day of your life, right? The happiest day. The doors open with a sound like thunder, and suddenly I'm walking. The music swells, something classical that I should probably recognize but don't. My music theory knowledge begins and ends with whatever plays in the art studios where I used to work. Used to. Past tense. Because I quit that job last month when money got tight. Another thing my family never noticed. Each step echoes too loud in my ears despite the carpet runner beneath my feet. People turn their heads, hundreds of them, their faces blurring together into a sea of expensive suits and designer dresses. I recognize some of them, business associates of my father's, politicians I've seen on TV, people whose names I should know but don't. They're all smiling, but there's something calculating in their expressions. Like they're watching a transaction, not a wedding. I focus on the end of the aisle instead. On him. Dante Volkov stands like he was carved from stone and left there to guard something sacred. Taller than I expected, probably 6'3" or 6'4". His suit is black, expensive, tailored perfectly to his frame. Broad shoulders that strain slightly against the fabric. Dark hair swept back from his face, though a few strands have fallen forward. And his face. Sharp features. Strong jaw with a faint scar running along it, thin and pale, the kind of scar that speaks of violence survived. High cheekbones. Lips pressed into a line that could be stern or just neutral, I can't tell. But it's his eyes that nail me in place, even from this distance. Gray. Like storm clouds right before they break open. And they're looking at me with something I can't name. Recognition? No. He thinks I'm Remy. Expectation? Maybe. Love? My stomach twists so hard I almost stumble. That look? It's too much. Too raw. Too real. He's looking at me like I'm something precious. Like I matter. But it's not for me. It's for Remy. All of this is for Remy, and I'm just wearing his face. I reach the altar, and he extends his hand. For a second, I just stare at it. Long fingers, calloused palms, hands that have probably done terrible things. There's a thin white scar across his knuckles. His nails are clean trimmed. Professional. I take his hand because what else can I do? His palm is warm, calloused in a way that surprises me. The grip is firm but not crushing, not trying to prove anything. Up close, I can smell him leather, something woodsy like cedar or pine, and underneath it all, gunpowder. It should scare me. Instead, my pulse kicks up for an entirely different reason. You look beautiful. His voice is low, rough around the edges like he doesn't use it often for soft things. I swallow hard, managing something that might pass for a smile. My face feels stiff wrong. Thank you. His thumb brushes over my knuckles, a small gesture, probably unconscious, meant to be reassuring. It makes everything worse because it's gentle. Because this man, this dangerous man, is trying to comfort who he thinks is his future husband. The officiant starts talking. I don't hear most of it. Something about loyalty, partnership, binding vows that will unite two families. My hands are cold despite Dante's warmth beside me. I can feel the weight of hundreds of eyes on my back, judging, watching, waiting. Do you, Remy Kane, take this man? My breath catches. Wrong name. Wrong person. Wrong everything. I do. My voice cracks on the words. Dante's thumb brushes over my knuckles again. A small gesture. Reassuring. I want to scream. And do you, Dante Volkov, take this man? I do. His voice is steady, certain. Like he's made 1,000 important decisions, and this is just another one he's sure about. Then by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you married. You may kiss. This is it. The moment where everything could fall apart. One kiss and he'll know something's wrong. He has to know. We might look identical, but we don't kiss the same, don't taste the same, don't. His hand cups my jaw, tilting my face up. For a second, we just look at each other. Up close, I can see flecks of blue in his gray eyes. Can see the faint lines at the corners that speak of stress, of sleepless nights. Can see something vulnerable there, quickly hidden. Then his lips press against mine. Soft, careful. Like I'm something that might break. I've never been kissed before. Not like this. Not at all, actually. Remy got the dates, the relationships, the experience. I got the late nights alone with my books and my art restoration projects. So I don't know what I'm doing. I just stand there, frozen, feeling the warmth of his mouth against mine, the slight scratch of stubble against my skin, the way his hand is so gentle on my jaw like I'm precious. The crowd erupts in applause, but all I can hear is my own heartbeat thundering in my ears. When we pull apart, his eyes search mine. Really look at me, not past me or through me like my family does. At me. Something flickers there. Confusion, maybe. His brow furrows slightly. My blood runs cold. Does he know? But then the moment passes. He smiles small, barely there, but real, and offers me his arm. Ready, he murmurs. For what? For this lie to unravel? For everything to explode? Yes, I lie, taking his arm. We walk back down the aisle together, his hand warm over mine. People are smiling, clapping, throwing rose petals that catch in my hair. The doors open to a reception hall that's even more elaborate than the ceremony space. Ice sculptures, champagne fountains, a string quartet playing in the corner. And all I can think is, how long until he figures it out? How long until this beautiful, terrible lie comes crashing down? Chapter 3. The reception is a blur of champagne glasses I don't drink from and congratulations from people whose names I immediately forget. Dante's hand stays on the small of my back as we move through the crowd, a constant warm pressure that I'm hyper-aware of. Every time someone approaches, I tense, waiting for them to say something that will expose me. But they all just smile, shake Dante's hand, tell us we make a beautiful couple. If only they knew. The cake tastes like cardboard in my mouth, though I'm pretty sure it's expensive and delicious, and I'm just too anxious to register flavor. Dante feeds me a bite for the cameras, his fingers gentle against my lips, and I try not to think about how intimate the gesture feels. How wrong it is that I'm here instead of Remy. You're quiet, Dante murmurs near my ear during a slow dance. His hand is firm on my waist, leading me through steps I barely know. I've never been much of a dancer. That was always Remy's thing, too. Just overwhelmed. I manage, which isn't exactly a lie. It's a lot. His hand tightens slightly. We can leave soon. I know these things can be exhausting. Considerate. He's being considerate, and it makes my guilt sit heavier in my chest. By the time we finally escape to the car, a sleek black town car with tinted windows and a driver who doesn't make eye contact, I feel like I've run a marathon. My face hurts from fake smiling. My feet hurt from Remy's shoes that are half a size too small. Everything hurts. The drive is silent. Dante sits across from me in a spacious back seat, watching. Just watching. I keep my eyes on the window, tracking streetlights as we leave the city center behind. The buildings get sparser, more spread out. Old money neighborhoods where houses hide behind gates and walls. Nervous, he asks quietly. I turn to look at him. In the dim light of the car, his face is half in shadow. Still striking. Still dangerous looking, even when he's trying to be gentle. A little, I admit. At least that's honest. I know we don't know each other well yet. He leans forward slightly, elbows on his knees. The arrangement was practical. But I want you to know that I intend to make this work. To make you happy. Oh, God. The guilt crashes over me in a wave so strong, I nearly choke on it. I appreciate that. I whisper because what else can I say? The Volkov mansion sits on the edge of the city like something out of a Gothic novel. Stone walls covered in ivy, tall windows with heavy curtains, iron gates that close behind us with a heavy clang that sounds too much like a prison door. It's beautiful in a haunting way. The kind of beautiful that hides teeth. Inside is warmer than I expected. Not cold and sterile, but lived in. It smells different than I thought it would. Not sterile or medicinal, but wood smoke and old books and something herbal I can't quite place. There's a fire crackling in a massive stone fireplace in what I guess is the main hall. Dark wood furniture that looks antique but comfortable. Paintings on the walls, actual art, not just decoration. Your room is upstairs, Dante says, then corrects himself quickly. Our room. Sorry. Still getting used to saying our room, right? Because we're married now. My throat goes dry. He leads me up a staircase that seems to stretch forever, our footsteps muffled by a thick carpet runner. Down a hallway lined with more paintings, landscapes mostly dark and moody. Then he opens a door. The bedroom is massive. Four-poster bed with heavy curtains, dark wood furniture that matches the rest of the house, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking gardens I can barely see in the darkness. Candles flicker on various surfaces, the dresser, the nightstands, the mantel above another fireplace. Their light casts everything in warm, golden tones. Romantic. Intimate. Terrifying. I'll give you a moment, Dante says, loosening his tie. The movement draws my attention to his neck, his throat, the way his Adam's apple bobs when he swallows. Let you get comfortable. I'll be right back. When the door closes behind him, I can finally breathe. I sink onto the edge of the bed, head in my hands. What am I doing? This is insane. He's going to find out. Maybe not tonight, but soon. And when he does, the bathroom connects to the bedroom. I splash cold water on my face, avoiding my reflection. I don't want to see Remy's face staring back at me. Don't want to be reminded that I'm living someone else's life. I'm still standing there, gripping the marble sink, when I hear the door open again. Hey, you okay in there? Fine, I call back, my voice tight. Just needed a minute. When I come out, Dante's back. He's changed, shed the jacket and tie, unbuttoned the top few buttons of his shirt, rolled up his sleeves. His hair is slightly mussed like he's been running his hands through it. And there's something different about him now. His movements are looser, less controlled. He's been drinking. Not drunk, but enough to take the edge off. Come here, he says softly, and there's something in his voice that makes my stomach flip. I move closer on legs that feel like they might give out. He closes the distance, and suddenly his hands are on me, sliding up my arms, over my shoulders. His touch is gentle, but purposeful. Like he's been waiting for this. Wanting this. I've waited so long for this, he whispers against my temple, confirming my thought. For you. The guilt is crushing. He sounds so sincere, so full of feeling. And it's all based on a lie. Dante, His lips cut off my attempted confession. This kiss is different from the one at the altar. Deeper. Hungrier. His hands tangle in my hair, tilting my head back, and I gasp against his mouth. He takes advantage, deepening the kiss further, and I can taste whiskey on his tongue, feel the heat of him surrounding me. I should stop this. Should tell him the truth. But his warmth surrounds me, and for just a moment, I let myself pretend this is real. That someone wants me, not my brother. That I'm not just a replacement, a stand-in, a poor substitute. His hands find the buttons of my shirt, and reality crashes back. Wait, I push against his chest, panic flooding through me. I can't. He pulls back immediately, breathing hard. What's wrong? Everything. Everything is wrong. My voice shakes. I need to slow down. This is all happening so fast. Confusion crosses his face. We've been planning this for months. No, Remy had been planning this. Not me. But I can't say that. So I just stand there, trembling, watching something shift in his expression. He studies me more closely now. Really looks at me. His gaze travels over my face, down my neck lower. When his eyes reach my torso, they stop. He steps closer, and I freeze. His hand moves slowly, deliberately, to my hip. His thumb brushes over the fabric there, then presses slightly. The scar. The one I got when I was 12, falling off my bike. The one Remy doesn't have because he was at soccer practice that day while I was alone, trying to teach myself to ride without training wheels. Dante's face goes very still. Too still. The kind of still that comes before violence. Take off your shirt. It's not a request. Dante. No. My hands tremble as I unbutton it. The scar's there, pale and jagged along my left hip. Small, barely noticeable unless you're looking for it. Unless you're supposed to know, it shouldn't be there. The silence stretches so long I think I might throw up. I can see the moment everything clicks into place. The confusion turning to understanding, then to something darker. Who are you? His voice is quiet. Deadly quiet. The kind of quiet that comes before a storm breaks. I take a breath. This is it. The moment everything falls apart. I'm Silas. Remy's twin. Chapter 4. Something flashes across his face. Betrayal. Rage. Disbelief. But then it's gone, locked behind that cold mask I'd glimpsed earlier. The transformation is terrifying, like watching someone become stone. Where is he? Each word is measured, controlled. Somehow that's worse than if he'd started yelling. Gone. He ran off with someone else this morning. My voice cracks. My parents made me take his place. I didn't want to. I swear, I tried to say no. Stop talking. He turns away from me, hand dragging through his hair. His shoulders are rigid, every muscle tense. When he turns back, his eyes are ice. Do you have any idea what you've done? I know it's bad. Bad. He laughs, but there's no humor in it. Sharp and bitter. Your family sent a replacement. Like I'm ordering takeout and they ran out of what I wanted, so they sent whatever was in the back. He moves closer, and I resist the urge to step back. Did they really think I wouldn't notice? Remy said we look alike enough. You don't. He's right in front of me now, and I can see the fury barely contained. You hold yourself differently. Your voice is quieter, softer. You barely made eye contact during the ceremony. And you kissed like... He stops himself, jaw clenching. Like you'd never done it before. Heat floods my face. Of course he noticed. Of course. I should kill you for this, he says softly, and my blood turns to ice. Do you understand that? What your family did, what you did, is an insult. A declaration that I'm not worth honesty. Not worth respect. I know. My voice comes out as a whisper. I know, and I'm sorry. I told them it was a bad idea, that you'd figure it out, but they didn't care. Something bitter crosses his expression. They knew I'd be furious. They just hoped you'd buy enough time for your precious Remy to disappear completely. The way he says precious makes it sound like poison. I really am sorry. I say again, knowing how inadequate it sounds. For what it's worth, I never wanted any of this. He studies me for a long moment. Then, slowly, the rage seems to drain out of him. Not gone, I can still see it simmering beneath the surface, but controlled. Contained. Get dressed, he says finally, turning away. You can have the bed. I'll sleep elsewhere. Dante. I said get dressed, Silas. He pauses at the door, back still to me. And for the record, I won't hurt you. Won't touch you. You have my word on that. His hand clenches on the doorframe. But I need you to stop talking before I do something we'll both regret. Then he's gone, the door closing with a soft click that somehow sounds louder than if he'd slammed it. I stand there for a long moment, half-dressed, trembling. Then I sink onto the bed, pull my knees to my chest, and try to remember how to breathe. Morning comes too bright through those floor-to-ceiling windows. I barely slept, spent most of the night curled in that massive bed, listening to every creak and groan of the old house. Half expecting Dante to come back, half terrified of what would happen if he did. But he never came. I find him in the kitchen, which surprises me. Somehow I expected staff everywhere, servants bustling around. But it's just him, standing at the counter in yesterday's shirt, sleeves still rolled up, making coffee. The kitchen smells rich and dark, almost bitter. He doesn't look up when I enter. Just pours a second cup and slides it across the counter toward the empty stool. I sit. Take the cup, even though my hands are shaking. The coffee's black, no sugar, no cream. The first sip burns my tongue and tastes like charcoal, but I don't complain. Here's what's going to happen, Dante says finally, his voice flat and businesslike. Like he's negotiating a contract, not discussing our sham marriage. To the outside world, we're married. Happily. I won't humiliate myself by admitting I was deceived on my wedding day. I nod, throat tight. But between us, he finally looks at me, and his eyes are empty. Cold. Nothing like the warmth I saw yesterday. This is a contract. Nothing more. You'll have your own space. I won't touch you. Won't expect anything from you. Okay, I'll whisper. And when I find your brother, his knuckles go white around his mug. That's my business, not yours. You stay out of it. Fear spikes through me. Don't hurt him. Please. He's an idiot, but he's still your family. Dante's laugh is sharp, cutting. Your family threw you to the wolves to save their golden boy. And you're worried about him. He's right. I know he's right. But 24 years of conditioning doesn't disappear overnight. 24 years of being told Remy matters more. Remy's happiness comes first. Remy deserves protection. He's still my brother, I say quietly. Dante sets his cup down with a clink that sounds too loud in the quiet kitchen. I have work. Business to handle. Stay out of trouble. What am I supposed to do? Whatever you want. This is your home now. The word home sounds bitter in his mouth. There's a library on the 3rd floor. Gardens out back. I don't care, just... He stops himself, jaw tight. Just stay out of my way. Then he's gone, leaving me alone in a kitchen that smells like expensive coffee and broken promises. The house swallows me whole after that. It's huge, bigger than it looked last night. Hallways that seem to go on forever, rooms I'm afraid to enter, staircases leading to wings I haven't explored. Servants appear and disappear like ghosts, Always polite, always efficient, never quite meeting my eyes. They know something's wrong. Maybe not the details, but they know. I spend the morning wandering, lost in my own supposed home. Every room is beautiful. Expensive furniture, artwork on the walls, fresh flowers in vases, but it all feels like a museum. Like I'm not supposed to touch anything. Around noon, I find a library. It's on the third floor, tucked away in a corner I almost missed. The door is heavy wood, slightly ajar. I push it open and immediately forget to breathe. Books everywhere. Floor-to-ceiling shelves packed with them. Old leather-bound volumes mixed with newer paperbacks. Classics next to contemporary fiction. A rolling ladder for reaching the higher shelves. Two deep armchairs by the window, worn leather that looks comfortable. A fireplace with ashes still in it, like someone was here recently. It smells like old paper and leather and something woodsy. Cedar, maybe. The same scent I caught on Dante last night. This is his space. His private sanctuary. I should leave. He told me to stay out of his way. But my feet carry me forward, drawn to the shelves like a magnet. My fingers trail over spines, reading titles. Russian literature. Philosophy. Poetry. Lots of poetry, surprisingly. Mystery novels. Thrillers. A whole section on art history that makes my chest ache because I used to love studying that. I pull out a worn copy of Dostoevsky, pages soft with age and multiple readings. Someone's made notes in the margins, neat, small handwriting. Thoughts and observations and questions. Dante's handwriting. You like books. I spin around so fast the book nearly flies from my hands. Dante's in the doorway, jacket slung over his shoulder, tie loose. He looks tired. There are shadows under his eyes that weren't there this morning. I didn't hear you come in, I stammer. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to intrude. It's fine. He steps inside, and I'm suddenly aware of how small the space feels with both of us in it. This is my private collection. No one else comes here. But he pauses, something shifting in his expression. You can use it if you want. I don't mind. The gesture catches me completely off guard. After this morning's coldness, I expected walls. Nepos. Thank you, I say softly. I'll be careful with him. He nods, moving to one of the shelves. Pulls out a worn paperback, Murakami, I think. You read often. Used to. Before I catch myself. Yeah, it keeps me company. Books don't judge, he says quietly, almost to himself. Don't demand you be someone you're not. The words hit too close. I wonder if he means them for me or for himself. What are you reading? He gestures to the Dostoevsky in my hands. Crime and Punishment. Never finished it before. Heavy choice. Something that might be amusement flickers across his face. Fitting, maybe. I can't help it. I almost smile. Yeah, maybe. We stand there in the fading afternoon light, surrounded by stories of other people's lives. The silence isn't comfortable exactly, but it's not hostile either. It's something in between. Something uncertain but not entirely hopeless. I should let you read, Dante says finally, but he doesn't move right away. He lingers in the doorway, looking back at me like he's trying to solve a puzzle. Then he's gone, and I'm alone with the books again. I sink into one of the armchairs, hugging my knees to my chest. This isn't how I imagined my life going. Trapped in a loveless marriage with a man who has every right to hate me. Living in a beautiful prison. But as I watch dust motes dance in the sunlight streaming through the windows, I think maybe, just maybe, we might survive this. It's not much, but it's something. Chapter 5. 3 weeks pass in a strange sort of limbo. Dante and I exist in the same space but live separate lives. He leaves early for work, business I don't ask about, and comes home late. I spend my days in the library, the gardens, anywhere that feels like it might belong to me eventually. We're polite when we cross paths. Careful. Like we're both handling something fragile that might shatter if we're not gentle enough. But something's shifting. Small things, mostly. He starts leaving books on the library table, ones he thinks I might like, I guess. Never with a note, just there when I arrive in the morning. I start leaving tea in the kitchen when I hear him come home late, the kind I noticed he drinks. We don't talk about it. don't acknowledge these tiny gestures. But they're there. Then comes the night everything changes. We're in the car, coming back from some business dinner I was required to attend. Play the happy couple for Dante's associates. Smile and nod and pretend everything's perfect. I'm exhausted, my face hurting from fake expressions, when our driver suddenly swerves. The sharp crack of gunfire shatters the night. Down. Dante barks, his hand shoving me toward the floor as bullets punch through the windows. Glass explodes inward, sharp and cold against my skin. I can't breathe, can't think, just cling to Dante as his body covers mine completely. His scent floods the car, that cedar and gunpowder smell I've gotten used to, but stronger now, almost overwhelming. Protective. His heart pounds against my back, steady and strong despite the chaos. More gunshots. Our driver's returning fire. Dante's men in the car behind us join in. The whole thing probably lasts less than 2 minutes, but it feels like hours. When silence finally falls, I'm still pressed against the floor, Dante's weight solid and warm above me. I can feel him breathing hard, feel the tension in every muscle. It's over, he says softly, his hand gentle as it brushes through my hair, checking for injuries. You're safe, Silas. The use of my name, my real name, not Remy's, does something to me. Makes my chest tight and my eyes burn. I look up at him, and his face is so close. There's a cut on his cheek, blood trailing down. His eyes are dark, pupils blown wide with adrenaline. Why? My voice cracks. Why did you protect me like that? You could have. Because you're my husband. The words come out fierce, absolute. Contract or not, lie or not, you're mine to protect. Something breaks open in my chest. He could have let those bullets find me. Could have solved his problem right there. But instead, he shielded me with his own body, risked himself for someone he barely knows. His men escort us inside once they've confirmed the threat is neutralized. Victor, Dante's right hand, a stern man with silver hair and calculating eyes, checks us both over with surprising gentleness. Just scratches, Victor says, cleaning the cut on Dante's face. You were lucky. We both were, Dante murmurs, and his eyes find mine across the room. That night, I can't sleep. Keep replaying the sound of gunfire, the weight of Dante's body protecting mine, the way he said you're mine to protect, like it was the simplest truth in the world. Around 2 a.m., I give up and head downstairs. Find Dante in his study, still awake, nursing a glass of whiskey. He looks up when I enter, something guarded in his expression. Can't sleep either, he asks. I shake my head, hovering in the doorway. Keep hearing it. The guns. He's quiet for a moment, then gestures to the chair across from his desk. Want to talk about it? I sit, and we talk. Really talk for the first time since our wedding night. He tells me about the rival faction that's been trying to undermine his operations. I tell him about my old job restoring damaged paintings, how I used to lose hours just working on bringing beauty back to broken things. That's what you do, he says, something soft in his voice. Restore things. Try to, I correct. Don't always succeed, but you try. He refills his glass, offers me one. I take it this time. The whiskey burns going down but warms my chest. That's more than most people do. We talk until sunrise starts painting the sky pink and gold. About books we've read, places we've never been but want to see, stupid things that make us laugh. And somewhere in those hours, the distance between us shrinks. When I finally head back to my room, he catches my wrist gently. Silas. His voice is rough from talking, from lack of sleep. Thank you. For tonight. For he struggles with the words. For being here. My heart does something complicated in my chest. Where else would I be? His thumb brushes over my wrist, right over my pulse. I don't know. But I'm glad you're here. The shift after that night is undeniable. Dante starts coming home earlier. Asks about my day. We eat dinner together sometimes, talking about everything and nothing. He shows me parts of the estate I haven't explored. A greenhouse full of orchids that he tends himself. A garage full of vintage cars he's restoring. Broken things that might be beautiful again, I say, running my hand over a 1960s Mustang that's missing half its parts. Something like that. He's watching me, not the car. Takes patience, though. And belief that they're worth saving. I meet his eyes. Are they? Worth saving. Always. The word hangs between us, heavy with meaning. One evening, I'm in the library when he finds me. I'm curled in my usual chair, book forgotten in my lap, just watching the sunset through the windows. "You okay?" he asks, and the concern in his voice is real. "Just thinking." I close the book. About how different everything is from what I expected. He sits in a chair across from me, and we're close enough that our knees almost touch. Better or worse? I don't know yet. Honest. Scared to hope it might be better. Why? Because I struggle with how to say it. Because this started as a lie. Because you were supposed to marry Remy, not me. Because I'm terrified you'll wake up one day and realize you got the wrong twin. Silas. He leans forward, elbows on his knees. I did get the wrong twin. But I'm starting to think. He stops, jaw working. I'm starting to think I got the right person. My breath catches. These past weeks, he continues, getting to know you. Actually you, not whoever Remy was supposed to be. He runs a hand through his hair, frustrated with his own inability to articulate. You're nothing like I expected. Quieter, yes, but stronger. More genuine. You don't perform. Don't pretend to be something you're not. I literally pretended to be Remy, I point out weakly. Under duress. And you were terrible at it. His lips quirk slightly. You're a horrible liar, Silas. It's one of the things He cuts himself off, something vulnerable flashing across his face. One of the things I appreciate about you. The air between us feels charged. Different from that night in the car, but just as intense. I'm falling for you. I whisper, the truth escaping before I can stop it. I know I shouldn't. I know this is complicated and messy, and probably a terrible idea, but I can't help it. He's so still I think maybe I've broken something. Then he moves, closing the distance between us in one fluid motion. His hand cups my jaw, tilting my face up. Say it again. I'm falling for you. Good. His thumb traces my cheekbone. Because I'm already gone. When he kisses me this time, it's nothing like our wedding kiss. Nothing like that interrupted moment in our bedroom. This is deliberate, certain, full of everything we've both been holding back. I kiss him back, hands fisting in his shirt, pulling him closer. He makes a sound low in his throat, his other hand sliding into my hair, and suddenly we're both standing, pressed together, the chair forgotten. Silas, he breathes against my lips. Tell me to stop if. Don't stop. I pull him back down. Please don't stop. We make it to his bedroom this time. Our bedroom, maybe. The candles are gone, replaced by soft lamplight. He's careful with me, gentle, constantly checking that I'm okay. When he looks at me, really sees me, I feel like I'm the only person in the world who matters. Afterward, we lie tangled together, his fingers tracing lazy patterns on my skin. What happens now? I ask quietly. Now. He presses a kiss to my temple. Now we figure this out. Together. No more contracts. No more pretending. What about Remy? My family. His jaw tightened slightly. They made their choice. Now I'm making mine. I choose you, Silas. Not because you're convenient or available, but because you're you. And that's more than enough. Something in my chest cracks wide open, something that's been locked tight my whole life. The part that believed I was second best, the spare, the one who didn't matter. I love you. I whisper into the darkness. His arms tighten around me. I love you too. 3 months later, Remy shows up. I'm in the greenhouse when Victor finds me, his expression carefully neutral. You have a visitor. I find Remy in the main hall, looking worse for wear. Thinner than I remember, circles under his eyes, clothes that have seen better days. He looks up when I enter, and something like relief crosses his face. Silas. Thank God. I need. No. The word comes out firm, steady. Whatever you need, the answer is no. His face crumples. Please. He left me. Took everything. I have nowhere to go. I thought maybe Dante would. Would what? Dante's voice cuts through the hall as he appears from his study. His arm slides around my waist, solid and sure. Take you back? After you abandoned me? After you threw your own brother to the wolves? It wasn't like that. It was exactly like that. I step forward, and Dante's hand squeezes my hip gently. Supportive. You made your choice, Remy. You chose yourself like you always do. And for once, I'm choosing me. But I'm your brother. And he's my husband. The word comes easily now. My partner. The person who saw me really saw me when you never bothered to look. Remy's eyes dart between us, landing on how close we're standing. On Dante's possessive hand on my waist. On the matching rings we both wear now, new ones chosen together. You actually, he sounds stunned. You fell for each other. Yeah. I lean back into Dante's warmth. We did. Unbelievable. But Remy's voice has gone bitter. I was supposed to. You were supposed to show up, Dante says coldly. You were supposed to honor your commitments. But you didn't. So you get nothing. Not my forgiveness. Not my help. Nothing. Please. Leave. Dante's voice is absolute. And don't come back. Victor appears to escort Remy out. At the door, my brother turns back one more time. I never meant to hurt you, Silas. Yeah, I say quietly. You never meant to. But you did. For 24 years you did. When the door closes, I finally breathe again. You okay? Dante murmurs, turning me to face him. Yeah. And surprisingly, I mean it. I really am. He kisses me, soft and sweet and full of promise. Come on. Victor's making his famous espresso. And I think we both need it after that. As we walk toward the kitchen, his hand warm in mine, I realize something. This life I'm living, it wasn't the one I planned. Wasn't the one I chose at first. But it's mine now. Truly mine. And for the first time in my life, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. With someone who chose me. Not because I was convenient or available or looked like someone else, but because I'm me. And that's finally enough. That's Silas and Dante's story. If you love this journey from deception to devotion, make sure you're subscribed for more BL romance that'll hit you right in the feels. Drop a comment telling me which moment got you the most. I read every single one. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you in the next story.